Melissa is on the phone today for our first date follow-up, and she's getting ghosted by a guy named Austin. So in a few minutes, we're going to call him and see if he'll tell us why he's ghosting her and maybe get her another date. But first, Melissa, how long has it been since you heard from Austin?
It's been about a week.
So did you try to reach out to him?
I have, yeah. I mean, I just kind of just thanked him for a wonderful time, and I would love to do it again soon. And I haven't heard of anything, but I thought, our date was really solid.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really surprised.
Sure. Why don't you tell us about the date?
Sure. Okay. Well, we met on Bumble. I was instantly attracted to him. Just to set you up, just to know the backstory a little bit before the date. We had talked for a couple of weeks, and, we had some really great phone conversations. So, the anticipation to meet in person was, super high.
Mm-hmm.
We met at an indoor mini golf arcade place.
That's fun.
Yeah. And we, kissed right away. It was...
Right away?
Wow.
It felt like we were magnets.
Aww.
Okay.
That's hot.
Yeah, and I really haven't felt like something like this before. Sparks were flying. The date was just super hot and exciting. So yeah, I didn't want the night to end, and we went back to Austin. We started talking about life while we're staring at the sky from his balcony, and we hooked up.
Okay.
So yeah, the chemistry was just crazy.
When you kissed right away, describe what happened there.
So since we were talking for a couple weeks and it was building up, I already felt really familiar, like I've known him. So when I saw him waiting for me at the front, I just instantly ran up to him, and he scooped me up, and it was out of a movie, and we just started kissing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it was
yeah.
Wow, nice to meet you.
Okay.
It was that dirty dancing scene, where you, and it just felt so spontaneous, and we just instantly felt super comfortable, It was really sweet. So anyway, I left in the morning, and, I told him verbally, can't wait to see him again. And, I joked that, he better call me. And he said, of course. And that was it. And I'm so confused.
Did anything happen that would have made him not call you back?
I mean, the only thing that I can think about was I do have a kid, and I wasn't completely upfront with him. Felt like I needed to know that something was really there, that it really was real. And as soon as we met, I knew that it was. It's just a hard thing to slip in when you're on an amazing date.
Mm-hmm.
But as I was leaving, I told him I need to get home to my kid. And
okay. And that's the first he heard of you having a kid?
Yes. Yeah, and I kept it light. I didn't really want to get into it just because I really was in a rush.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like maybe he was processing that news as I was leaving.
Probably.
I don't know. He seemed like he internalized it, but it seemed like I did say, let's talk about it next time. And it seemed like that was definitely a conversation I'm open to having. And it felt like he's someone that would also be open to having that conversation. That's just why I'm just surprised, because he seems like a really open person.
Well, he could be processing, though, because, if real feelings are starting to develop at that point, then you really have to ask yourself, okay, what role am I going to play with somebody that has a child? How does that work?
Well, we'll see. We'll play a song, come back, and then call him and see if he'll tell us why he's ghosting you and maybe get you another date, okay?
Okay. All right. That sounds good.
All right. We'll play a song, come back, get your first date follow-up next. Right in the middle of your first date follow-up, if you're just joining us, Melissa is on the phone, and Melissa is getting ghosted by Austin. So we're about to call him and see if he'll tell us why he's ghosting her and maybe get her another date. But first, Melissa, why don't you catch us up on your situation?
Yeah, so I met this incredible guy off of Bumble. We talked for a couple of weeks. We went on this mind-blowing date. We hooked up. The chemistry was off the charts. And lo and behold, I slip in when I'm walking out the door. I have to get home to my kid, and I feel like I freaked him out. And I haven't heard from him since, and it's been a week.
Because that was the first time that you told him that you had a kid, was when you were leaving.
Yes, but I do feel like we, coming in hot with our chemistry, I just felt like it wasn't ever the right time to really unpack that. But I feel like that's what a second date would be for.
Okay. Well, are you ready for us to call him?
Yes, please.
Okay, here we go.
Hello?
Hi, may I speak to Austin, please?
Yeah, this is him.
Austin, what's up, man? This is Jubal. I'm calling from a radio show. It's called The Jubal Show.
Hi, Austin. I'm Nina, also on the show.
Hi, and I'm Victoria.
Hi, wow. That's overwhelming.
How are you?
Good. So I'm on the call with 3 people here.
Yes.
You are, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever listened to The Jubal Show before?
I believe so.
Well, we do a segment on the show. It's called the First Date Follow-Up. That's where if you go out on a date with somebody and then you end up ghosting them, that person can ask us to email you and ask why you're ghosting. And we got an email about you, Austin.
Okay.
You have any idea who it would be?
I feel like you do.
I feel like it's probably Melissa.
You are correct, sir.
So you're intentionally ghosting her.
I don't know if I would use the word ghosting. I did put some space there and didn't call her.
Do you mind telling us why? She wants to know.
Oh, man, it's kind of complex. I feel like when people want to get together, that they should have a clean space for each other. You know what I mean?
Clean space?
So she's got a whole situation going on with her.
What's the situation?
I don't know if she lives with her. She has a kid.
Mm-hmm.
How do I say this without throwing any? So we stay together at my place.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like in the morning, I'm half asleep because we had some drinks, we had a good time, and her phone's going off like constantly, and I'm like, is that my phone? No, oh, it's hers. Okay, and she's texting and doing whatever, and then she picks up the phone. She thinks I'm asleep, I'm sure, and she's like whispering, but she sounds really tense, like someone's barking at her on the phone, and I hear her saying like, oh no, I had too much to drink. No, I'm staying at a friend's house. I'll be home soon. And I was like, what? And then before she hangs up, I could hear her be like, you too, which to me was like somebody just said, I love you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I'm standing there like, what the? I don't know if I can cuss on the radio, but like, what's going on here? Yeah, I'm waiting for her to maybe tell me something. And then she tells me she has to get home to her kid, which, okay, you have a kid. I don't know why you're telling me now and you didn't tell me earlier. But, I mean, it's not going to make me ghost you. But then I'm waiting there for her to explain further, but then she just leaves, and I'm like, is she going home to like husband and ex-boy, a baby daddy? I don't know. She said something about a baby daddy, like I'm so sorry, my baby daddy for waking you up or whatever. She kind of briefed it out like it meant nothing, and I'm like, you're telling me that you're answering the phone from your baby daddy. Clearly, you're going home to him, and that's a whole situation.
But is he just babysitting the kid though?
No, the conversation that she was having, I couldn't make out exactly what she was saying. But clearly there's this guy who's borderline yelling at her, and she's like, no, I'm sorry, no, I just got drunk. I'm staying at a friend's. I'll be home soon. I heard her say, I'll be home soon. That's really messy.
Right.
And I had a great time with her, and it was a very passionate date, and we really hit it off. I was shocked. I said, wow, so you're getting involved with me. It's so intense, but you have a whole situation happening.
Well, thanks for telling us. I appreciate it. And now I'll let you know that she's actually on the phone listening.
Yeah.
And wants to talk to you.
Hi, Austin. Yeah, I'm happy to hear
like that.
Yeah, I mean, this was my idea to have you on the radio. So I wanted to hear your side of the story. All I can say is that, yes, my child's father, he is still in love with me. And I just felt like it's best right now to keep him happy while, we have our son. So I play along, but we are definitely not together at all.
So that was him.
So he thinks you're together.
Yeah, but
it's more for our kid, because we want to have a family unit for him. And it's not fair to our kid just because we didn't work out that we have a divided family.
Wait, this guy thinks that you're with him, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I said, like it's for our kid right now. It's a temporary situation until it changes.
Melissa, listen, obviously we had a great time and we connect at a very deep level. Physically, we're drawn to each other like I can't even explain it with words. It's very noble that you put your child first, but at the end of the day, you basically have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
He thinks that all he has to do is work harder to get you if he's not all the way there. It is just so dramatic. It's like so.
He knows we're not together, though. Like for what it's worth, he knows that. That's what you say. That's what you say. And with all due respect, men don't see it like that. They see it as you're just adjusting, and he's going to eventually get you. And at the end of the day, I know you say you're playing along, but obviously he said, "I love you," and you said, "You too." So. No matter what you think in your mind. Yeah, I do as a person. I'm not in love with him.
But that's got to be an awkward thing to hear anyway. You're laying next to somebody else.
I think if you clean up your situation, it takes a little bit of growing, and you make final what the relationship is with him. Like if you're not with him, he has to know that, and he can't think there's a chance. And hit me up sometime. But Melissa, let me ask you one question. Do you sleep in the same bed with him, Melissa?
I'm not going to lie to you. Yes, but it's for our kid.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so you have no business even talking to me, and that sucks to say because I had a great time with you, but you have no business talking to me.
Too. I just know that I won't find chemistry like we have ever again, and I hate to see that guy, and I feel like I had to shoot my shot, I guess, so, I tried.
Well, Austin, would you like to go out with Melissa again? We'll pay for it.
I can't do that right now. I mean, in a year, if things change, call me back up. Give us a free date. But right now...
Okay. I respect that. And, I'll clean up my situation, and I hope you don't meet someone else, and I'll call you however long it takes. I'll circle back.
Well, good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Jubal's first date follow.